Republican presidential candidate Nikki Haley has a new strategy. She is finally ready to attack Donald Trump as long as she can attack Joe Biden at the same time. The New York Times reports today in a new series titled Grumpy Old Men, the Haley campaign plans to start unveiling online videos, digital ads, and voter emails that will underscore the ways in which Ms. Haley has argued that the two-party frontrunners are alike. Okay, set aside the fact for a moment that Nikki Haley is trying to attack her opponents for being old by referencing a movie from 30 years ago. Set that aside. Governor Haley's new strategy seems to be to draw comparisons between two people who, apart from their advanced ages, have almost nothing in common. In other words, Nikki Haley is literally alienating almost all voters on every side of the issue, as if she has no idea which people she's supposed to be courting. And if you needed a clearer example of that, Nikki Haley sat down today for an interview with The Breakfast Club, which is one of America's most popular syndicated black talk radio shows. And on that show, Nikki Haley decided to blame America's division on the first black president.
I think with Obama, that was, if you go back, that's when we really started to feel the division. That's when it was...
A lot of that was because of white supremacists, though.
Well, no, I think it was everything. Everything was exaggerated with the Obama administration. It became more about gender. It became more about race. It became more about separating Americans instead of bringing them together.
Permit me for a second here. Nikki Haley says that during the Obama administration, everything became more and more about separating people by gender and race. It has been nearly 8 years since Barack Obama was president, but it is worth remembering what Barack Obama actually did on the issues of gender and race. He passed the Lilly Ledbetter Act, which worked to close the gender pay gap. He became the first president in history to endorse marriage equality. He worked to ensure that health insurance covered birth control under the Affordable Care Act. When it came to race, President Obama started the My Brother's Keeper initiative to help young men of color overcome opportunity gaps. He used his position to speak for grieving communities, many of them communities of color, after the massacre at Mother Emanuel Church and after the killings of unarmed black teenagers like Trayvon Martin and Michael Brown. And all of that, according to Nikki Haley, was about dividing Americans.
It became more about separating Americans instead of bringing them together.
That was because of right-wing media, though. Well, they were scared to death of a black president.
Look, I don't think everybody is at fault. I'm not saying that one person did this, but I'm saying under that administration, it really did cause some... people felt like they were being put in camps.
The Obama administration was dividing Americans by putting people in camps. Just take a second to remember how Nikki Haley's actual primary opponent in this race, how he ran for president the first time around.
Donald J. Trump is calling for a total and complete shutdown of Muslims entering the United States until our country's representatives can figure out what the hell is going on. When Mexico sends its people, they're not sending their best. They're bringing drugs. They're bringing crime, they're rapists, and some, I assume, are good people.
And Donald Trump is now running on an immigration plan that would literally put people into camps based on their immigration status. But it's all Obama's fault? Beyond the factual absurdity here, what is the goal of going on one of the most popular black radio programs in the country to disparage the man who won re-election in 2012 with 93% of the black vote? Who is this strategy for? And how long will Nikki Haley keep this up?